So good morning everyone and welcome to the Dart stage. We are here to celebrate Abuja's finest artisans, creatives and entrepreneurs over the next 2 days. My name is Aisha Sambo. I'm the Creative Director and founder of SHUSHI, and I'm thrilled to introduce this event to you and to share words about Dart x SHUSHI. So Dart Stage is a pioneering event that enhances the artistic and cultural growth of contemporary art in Nigeria, starting in Abuja. It provides a platform for local artisans to showcase their talents across various mediums such as photography, fashion, painting, crafts, and so on. This in turn is supposed to connect them and with other emerging artists and art professionals. So thank you to Salma and Fatima. Please guys, a round of applause for these amazing ladies, because without them, truly, all of what you're seeing today here would not have been possible. Coupled with our dedicated volunteers as well, I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. So thank you for marking today as your third successful exhibition and pop-up shop of the Dart Stage. This event highlights Nigerian creatives and include a pop-up market shop, which you can find just behind you. We have products such as jewelry, adire pieces, handmade poetry, crochet work, resin art, and my favorite, SHUSHI shades. So thank you guys for being here. I'll be your host and moderator for today's panel discussion themed Revive the Culture, the Art of Making. We are here to spotlight the vibrant artisans, support our youth in the art and creative scene, and provide a platform for knowledge sharing and connection. So let's celebrate all the incredible talents here in this room today and within our community in Abuja. So thank you guys so much for being here. I will be introducing our panelists. So we are honored to have 4 distinguished panelists, and I'll introduce the 2 that are here. So please allow me to introduce Jeffrey Bent, the CEO of FFC Synergy Consulting. He is an expert in international fashion business and luxury brand management. Please give it up for Jeffrey. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And then my second speaker is Samira Mohammed. She's the founder and creative director of Sultana, which is a fashion label. She's versatile in her creativity, and she's known for her contributions to fashion, visual art, and poetry. My dear friend, Samira. I'm also going to introduce our other panelists who will join us shortly. We have Mr. Charles Orosanye, who is the founder. Oh, he's in the house. Oh my gosh, perfect timing. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Africana himself. So thank you so much. I'll continue reading Mr. Charles' profile. So we have the founder of Africana Couture here with us today, a leading menswear brand promoting African aesthetics and channeling colonial influences. So we're going to have a very engaging conversation here. You know, we as Africans, we love wise sayings. And one of the wisest men I know once told me that if you make it in Africa, you don't need to make it anywhere else. And I've now been told that our final panelist is here in the house. Please give it up for Mr. Ameer Bunu. Please, a round of applause. He's also exhibiting here today. He is the founder of Ameer by Ameer. He makes amazing hats, thank you, and kaftans as well. If you make it in Africa, you don't need to make it anywhere else. And I'll start with Jeffrey. What unique strategies have you found most effective for branding positioning in Africa? I mean, in African markets compared to Western or Asian markets?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I would say this. Working with brands for many years, both international and here, gives me first the knowledge first that what works in that environment doesn't work here. And if you tailor it down to this detailing, meaning that what works even in Africa, for example, in South Africa, doesn't work in Nigeria. Then if you tailor it down again, you notice that what works in Lagos doesn't work in Abuja. Meaning that we had to look at the strategy that contains with the environment itself, with the significance of the brand itself. What does the brand stand for? And one thing that we come up with first is that understanding what the cultural moments the brand wants to represent. You understand? The one thing about trying to promote a brand or to put your brand out there, no matter what the item is, we are built with narratives. What narrative? People are influenced by narratives. What narrative do you want to pass across? So if you want to be in the northern or in the Kaftan system or in the hand woven artistry and craftsmanship, you have to understand the strategy behind understanding where did this artistry come from, what is the message behind it, what's the history behind it, why did they do this. Now, you pick it out and now connect it with what is happening in the world today. Because there is somebody that is out there that wants to connect with that narrative. He's looking for something to enter in that world. I look at designers as a cultural curator. We are cultural curators because we can enter any sector, any subject, and pick out a cultural moment, then transform it into a narrative that connects with the people that you want to connect with. And sometimes it even blows up because you realize that some people that know that, okay, it sends a message to me. I understood something about their strategies. This is that you don't change the creative. You understand? How do you work with the creative? How do you carry the creative space? Then take it out there. Now, the other thing is that when you're carrying that creative, you have to understand that you have to make that creative more sustainable. So how does the person's narrative become more sustainable?
Okay, so if I'm right, there's no one shoe size fits all. You have to tailor it based on where you are and who your target demographic is. Okay, well, going based on that question, I'll bounce the question to Ameer. Okay, and Ameer, my question for you is, how do you balance like the artistic side of fashion and the business side of the industry? Because you work in quite a niche demographic, but also you have kaftans, which is quite popular. So I'm just wondering, in terms of your artistic flow, like, and managing the business, how would you say those differ, or how do you balance it out?
I think the most important thing is planning and having a good team. So the artistic side, of course, like all creatives, we have challenges about sticking to one thing, because we believe that we can do a billion things. And in the past, I've had that challenge whereby I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but then I have a sister which she coaches, Hafsi, so she guides me and helps me streamline my vision, because I've told her what I wanted to achieve. So in that aspect, she like helps me narrow my vision. So that helps me stick to the artistic side. On the business side as well, she guides me with, because we come up with strategies, and of course, and your team helps a lot as well. So whenever you're derailing, they bring you back. So I think the most important thing is planning and having a good team.
Okay, thank you for that. My next question is for Samira. Okay. Now, Samira, your brand always fascinates me with how you mix contemporary and northern style. And so my question for you is, what role does your culture play in storytelling in your design? And how have you ensured that it resonates with a diverse audience?
So I would say that for me, the creative aspect, or like the artistic aspect, if you will, is really an extension of myself. And I think that a lot of times, as a creative, when you put something out that is very true or very authentic to you, it shows, and it's something that would more or less connect with people, in the sense that whatever you see, whatever design you see when you look at Sultana, is really an extension of who I am. On one hand, I mean, there's just like, we're multidimensional, like as humans, we have different aspects to us, and a lot of times I think that we fail to acknowledge that, and we fail to embrace that. But for me, what I've done is I've looked at myself. I'm a northern Nigerian who was born in Port Harcourt, partly grew up there, and also growing up, there are certain like cultural and creative influences that have kind of shaped me as a person. So again, back to me deciding, okay, this is the style that I'm trying to come across. It's because that's what I love. It's because that's what inspires me. I like to define my style as a street lounge vibe. So it's got, street influences, but at the same time, I love comfort, but then I love to express myself. On the other hand, I love my culture, and I love that there's so much you can do with you can take a single concept, a single northern concept or narrative, and expand it and do so many things with it. So that's just, all of these things are part of who I am as a person. They're part of what I love. So for me, it's just really putting it on paper and seeing how I can merge those things into one, and make it something that when people look at, they get and they connect to, and they want to be like, oh, what's this? Or like, for me, I would say a lot of my pieces are conversation starters, because I would walk in a space and automatically people want to ask, like, I like what you're wearing, like, tell me what it's about. And I always say, like, fashion is like one of those mediums that you can use to just teach people and talk to people. So
Thank you, Samira. I resonated a lot with that, especially when you said teaching people things through your collections. It's the same with my eyewear. Through each collection, we try to teach our audience something new or something they may have forgotten about their environment. So my next question is for Mr. Chow. We've seen Africana Couture expand, and it's beautiful to see. And I guess my question for you is, what challenges have you come across expanding Africana Couture, and how have you maybe overcome some of these challenges?
I would like to answer that question, but I would like to reel everybody in through. So there is this narrative that we all of us on this table and everybody on that side have this vision to become a global brand. And one of the biggest mistakes we make in Nigeria is global brands don't come to meet. You don't become a global brand at home. So I expanded by risk. When I mean risk is the Bible tells you that if you are good in little, you can manage little, you can manage large. So I knew that the Kering group on the LVMH will not come to Nigeria and find me. But if I can fashion myself like them, I might get a wink or a nod. So everything I started doing was, at this time, I would do this. So when I was making clothes 10 years ago, I was making clothes with the mindset of, at a time that will come, whether you like it or not, Nigerians are creative by default. So when I hear creative gist, I'm like, we're all creative. The thing I was saying is, there is a curve that is coming. And that curve is the industrialization of the Nigerian creative. So we're now in the era of collaboration, right? I hope you're following me. Sorry, I hope I'm not too far. So we're now in the era of collaboration. Nike is collaborating with Rihanna, Puma is Fenty. This person is this big brand, if you call an influencer now to say, let's work for me, they'll say it's a collaborative post. So the collaboration simulation is working. And we are one collaboration away from where Afrobeat was in 2012 to where it is now. So what I mean is the fight is not how creative you are. That's what I try to communicate. The fight is how structured are you. So what does your book look like? What does your business plan look like? How are you going to be? Where are you going to be 10 years from now? This is question everybody, every investor always asks, say, what's your 5-year life? And most times that makes the conversation longer, it makes it shorter. The answer you give, do you know what I mean? So when you answered how I expanded was I needed to I had my first 1 million naira from fashion in 2015 December, and I've been doing fashion since 2009. When I mean the first 1 million, the money was in my account. You know, the size account like 200,000, 300,000. So the first thing I did was, it was dumb. No, don't judge me. I got a very luxury apartment in Life Camp then, and I didn't feel why. I said I want to live like what I feel like. I want to live through what I want to, what I think of. So that particular mentality, as messed up as it is, made me say, okay, I have 10 million. I think I want to try what my enemies cannot try. So the first $100,000 I got in my life was in 2019 December. No, 2019 August. When I mean I was gathering, I was somebody I would make clothes, I would gather, I would change. So someone said, let's make an innovative move. Said, okay, if everybody makes kaftans and waits for 2 weeks, let's create a solution that would make people who kill the weight buy it, wear it, and get out. But we'll give the Gucci experience. So nobody in my generation had the balls, excuse my French, to put up a store at Jabi Lake Mall as at that time. And that my rent at Jabi Lake Mall was $123,000 a year. So I didn't have the money fully. What I did was I split the money to 3. I give them a deposit. I said, you know what will happen? Give me a deposit, give me 50,000 for 3 months. Before the 3 months, I'll complete the money. So I used the middle part of the money to do the store. So the balance part of the money, I used it to do the product. So when it's time to pay the balance rent, there's a problem. I'll stop. So the owners of the mall saw the fit out I was giving. I was like, holy, this is the finest store. I said, can you guys give me an extra 2 months? Okay, it's alright. At least it makes people come here. So that's how I started the store. Now the store did not pop. 2019, the pandemic happened. So we're not open for like 4 months. What I'm saying is, I want you to understand that there's no sweet road though. So 2019, 2020 pandemic, 2020 middle of the year we opened again. We're not selling. So my calculation at that rental was I need to sell 200,000 naira a day to break even. And throughout this time, I'll be telling my team, being Asian team, sometimes team, it's good though, but bro, it's guts. Somebody kept telling me, close this thing down. There's no shame. Not disgrace yourself. Close it down. There's no harm in feeling. I can feel very well. 2023, I got married in 2021 to my wife. I said, okay, leave your job. Come. When she came to the office, she was like, I think we're doing something wrong. I said, what is it? I've experienced. At this time, I've used Akpakpo to go and set up Abidjan. I did not send me. I've done Dakar. The prices of this should come down. This price should go down. This price should go down. So what was happening was I was not selling because I was thinking so high of myself. and so high of my product to the point that customers will come, they like it, they could relate, but they will not move that money. So what I did was we moved the prices down, we made it more affordable. I stopped living in my head like I'm a king, and I became a slave. And the store is doing astronomical numbers. 3 ingredients I love. I love nuts. You have to have nuts. And back to what I was saying about the curve that's coming, and I'm talking to us on this panel. Whatever you're doing is 2 routes. Is that how you industrialize? So I'm on a journey. I've crossed the stage of stores. I'm not at that store. I'm now at I'm going to the industrial age. I want to make sure you want to be a designer, Abi. You want to be like Africana, come. I will do it for you. You pay me my cheap money. Like I want to be like a Chinese. You get it? Because something is about to happen. Africa is the next big thing. The music keeps getting better. The only common sense we just tell you is after music is fashion.
Right.
So position yourself right. Collaborate nice. Be the brand you think you are, and the world is watching.
Thank you so much. That was a great story to share. And it's very much storytelling, right? Beyond just answering the questions, I think all our panelists here have done a good job of kind of giving us an insight into their own personal journeys. I hear you say Africa is the future. And I guess my next to Jeffrey. Regards. Can you share an example of sustainable practices that have been integrated into fashion businesses that you have consulted for?
I don't know what I'm mentioning the brand.
Yes, please, if you can mention the brand, just examples of what the problem was, because I believe for sustainable practices, you as a brand would have thought, you know what, I'm doing some damage to the environment through my processes and I want to change. So, because I think sometimes Nigerians or Africans as a whole, we throw in sustainability, green economy, like, oh my God, like we know what we're talking about. And for me, it's a bit hilarious because how did the West come to Africa and teach us sustainability when my grandmother taught me how to fold my leather bag? I'm just being real.
I agree with you with that because there was a president that made a statement. Yeah. So now the thing is this, aside from if there's another president again also that brought up another statement, how can you come from a Western from another country to tell me how to solve my own problem? You are not inside the environment with me. I'm the one facing it. You are the one carrying the news that I am the one, my country for my disease. Now I'm using solutions to better my country. Then now you are judging how I'm doing it, even though you are seeing the progress. So he made a bold statement on it because the example I'm giving is based on their country had like the third most dangerous country in the world, and when he came in and decided to solve it, they had like over 700,000 criminals, and people were dying every day. Their mother was like water that were killing people in El Salvador. Yeah, and when he solved that problem, put all the criminals inside. These are the same people that came and started judging him based on how he implemented it. Because he confronted them, the press, the UK and British press, and they said that you are the ones that gave this finding statistics that we are the most dangerous thing. Now I have decided to solve this problem myself because I didn't do it your way. I did it my own way and it's working. What I'm saying is this: what he said concerning industrialization, we're discussing this before we started. That is what we're moving into. And when we were working, okay, I said I'll give an example with she's not here, Cynthia. Like we've been working since 2019. The first problem we looked at was that I will just finish working with UK and UN. We're helping like 2,000 brands for in Africa to scale internationally. So we're looking at how can we take products, designers, brands to the foreign market, export, because that is where it is. Now we look at the aspect that brands initially are saying that they need this support to get out there. But are you ready? Are you meeting the standard? Are you meeting the standard that those are you meeting those numbers that those places, your target market in either Canada, UK, US are looking for? Are you that they need? Are you providing for them? Do you have that? So if I say now, I tell you that make 10,000 kaftans for me, in 3 months, I have a standard fashion buyer and looks at your product and say, okay, I want this. I want 10,000 products. Not even 3 months. I want it in 6 weeks. Can you deliver with the right price point, with the same quality of product, with the same quality control, with the same distribution system? Can you deliver? Because I have like close to over 100 stores around. I want to deliver it. I want to distribute it too. So my deal is this. I'm going to close this deal with you. Are you ready to do that? Now, the aspect came into mind that when we tailored down the brands, and we took like close to 4,000 brands, and we started tailoring it. I was like, we tailored it down to 2,000. Still not, even the brands that were in up to that standard that you said, people are hyping, they were still not meeting the standard. Because at a distance, where I studied, you understand, at a distance I can name 5 defaults on what you're wearing.
Guys, you've heard that. If you're looking for quality control, if you want to take your market to the outside, Jeffrey's the guy for you. Just saying.
Now, yeah, blush for a minute. Yeah, thank you. You don't come to
but it's true. I mean, beyond Sultana, Jeffrey has helped my brand. Jeffrey has helped Cynthia's brand. In fact, so many brands that we cannot even mention for confidentiality for most of them. But at least for the ones that we know, Jeffrey has really contributed in this space in taking some of our local designers on an international scale. So yeah, Jeffrey, today is your show too. Please continue.
Thank you. Okay, so giving an example with Cynthia Bila, she wanted that space and she wanted opportunity. So after the program with the UK and UN, she said, okay, she wants to work with me. Like this is where her brand is at, and this is where, and she's already thriving. Because in Lagos, she won a competition, Lagos Fashion Week, and she was at the period of now she need to scale up. And we now looked at it. Okay, she has a good story, she has a good brand, she has a good quality control. Now, how are we going to tailor it to the outside world? First, who are your target market? Who are you speaking to? So we looked at it and we noticed that we were trying to tailor to the traveling woman, the woman that would love to go to the environment, explore the world, but still embraces her own heritage. That you see her pieces, she's still wearing it in Paris. She's still exploring another environment, but she's still promoting her roots. She's still confident in where she's coming from, to the point that when somebody sees her, say, oh, I love this. Then you tell the person your story. And next you start telling them story about histories, about family, about how you live, how things are good, how your culture is, and they want to connect with it. So that part, we looked at it and said, okay, who are those people that we can connect to in those outside world? Let's narrow it to those places. So now we started picking out the concept that will tailor it around it. We looked at, okay, what would the traveling woman want? Where would the traveling woman from Nigeria, like that wants to promote her roots, that she's Igbo? How does she sell it to them? How does she sell it to them? And we gave first a story. But how do we pick the story? We have to pick out the right people. Like we talked about teams. You understand? I said industrialization first. We have to start thinking that, okay, when we're making these pieces, are these pieces not going to not only take attention, but also get the attention of the main people up there to say, I want to do business with you. Let's sit down here. Fashion buyers are people that you need on your side, because they are the ones that will say, hey, I need 20,000 pieces and take you out there. Let's be honest. At the end of the day, you need money. We all need money here. The creative cannot do without the business. You can't do without making money. You need to make that money, because the fact is that your mentality will need to even give you that therapy and say that, oh, I am doing something. The way you even mentioned, you have to sacrifice, have to put it, because you knew that there was something inside about this business that is teaching that you don't need to go out there to do it, make it. It is here. And they have struggled out there. They know it is here. And they've been trying as much as possible to penetrate this place, but it's hard. But you guys already here. Sometimes they even want to come and dictate and tell you how you want to do it. But one thing that is interesting about Africa is that when we study how they do it, I think, now, okay, this is what I understand how they work, but this is how I know how it can work here, and I implement it here. It's easier for them to work with, and that's what happened to Cynthia. We now notice that I don't need to start going to outside of the country to go and start selling my product, go and look for stores and everything. They are going to find me here in Abuja. They are going to find me here in this location. So I don't even need to go to Lagos and move myself in Lagos. I studied fashion. I'm based in Milan, Italy. But I came here because I knew that I saw more to it here. What they were doing, you could see a man that would sit down. You know the man that designed the logo of Ferrari seat. He's an old man. Today, that is what he does.
And he's, correct me if I'm wrong, he's like one of a handful of them, like, or if not the only one.
But you see how they deal with, they cherish craftsmanship, they promote craftsmanship, they look after craftsmanship. That's how you see how brands, they nurture that thing and they use it to grow and they use it to make money. Now the idea behind it, that's what we have. We are creative. You understand? We have the craftsmanship, but we have not tailored it. We have not fused it into the business and creative together. So we carry that in terms of Cynthia created a creative and a business model that would push it out there. Looking at the move from a piece, from a collection, telling a story. But at the same time, as we're telling a story, we know that okay, this jacket is going to take the attention of a brand or of a distribution company, of a storehouse, of the retail, of a fashion buyer. It gets that attention, but at the same time, it's not saying that you're telling, we're making sure your narrative is on each of these pieces, that when they see it, they want to buy.
Got it.
Yeah, go on.
So try to water down to the conversation. Aside the narrative concepts, how do you ensure she becomes profitably positioned? For instance, these particular three things are going to be great sellers. Who are going to produce them?
Now, that was the first thing we also came in design. We first looked at the team. Who does she have? Because she was self-producing. She had her own production team. So we noticed that if we are going to have like if we are going to have a distribution system that they will have more demand, it can't be now. You can't meet it because we researched on places that, oh, you want to go to Aba and produce like 20 when they ask for that. First of all, let's make it a premium brand that will get the attention of who your target market is. Let's give them that cost. Let's have that experiment called the customer experience, trying to find who the customer is. Remember, she's going out to the world.
So right now, sorry, I'm cutting short, but I don't want to get lost in my thought. So you're choosing to become a premium brand before you become a productive brand. So when I use the word productive,
That's telling the brand. So,
So-
somewhere like that's where this
yeah, because I chose what worked for me as a person was I invested in structure. I'll tell you a story. So some customer sent me a message sometime in 2019. That was my big break. The money I got, the $100,000 I got, somebody just called me and was like, "Hey, you want to travel?" So customers come to travel, come take measurements in so places. So I got this book and I've been able to build it. So that particular thing happened. I want to break it down to you so that I validate my own process. So when he called me at night from an agent, said, "How far? Did you travel?" I said, "Yeah." So we got to the airport in the morning, like 6, 7 a.m. And he said, no, don't go to the local airport, go to the private jet wing. I'm like, okay. I got there. I had my passport because I didn't have any valid ID card. Passport they use. So when I got to the plane, it was a private jet. I saw 2 more tailors on the jet. In the market in Gariki that I know. I'm like, okay, what is this about? And they're like, we got the same call like you. I want you to understand this story. I want you to listen very keenly. It will help because it has helped me. So, we under the jet, I was very nosy. So I was flirting with the girl with the, what do you call it, the air hostess. I said, tell me about this guy. Let me know. So she's like, he's a wealthy person that needs a tailor. They found you guys on the ground, and let's go. So we got to Conakry, Guinea, and we were in a room in the hotel. There were like 200 people in the lobby, and these 200 people were Asians, Chinese, Indians, and the guy said, everybody here was for the man. And I don't know him. Yes, he lives that way. He's like ghost. So I finally met the man. When we're about to meet the man, I told these other 2 guys with me, I said, look, I know your capacity. Let me handle this conversation. They were like, no. I said, oh, let me handle the conversation. It was simple. Ask them, how much do you price your kaftan? $150. How much do you price your kaftan? $180. Say, shut up. Let me speak. We start from 500. We peg to 450. And we stay at 4. No retreat, no surrender. Say, hey, it's possible. I said, allow me to do the talking. Because I have peace out. I'm very bold. I don't even do this. I'm very vocal. I'm very bold. So look at your eyes. So when I met the man, spoke, and he said, oh, I thought you guys, I said, no, we're a team. I said, impressive. Okay, take this measurement, take that measurement, take that measurement. We're taking measurements for 3 hours. Different people. And we're done. He said, okay, how many clothes? The clothes were like, what, 100 or something. So the price, man said, no. What's the price? This size 500. For the quality we're looking for. Then I brought the swatches, my Turkish and Italian swatches of fabric to show. I said, feel it. I said, I like it. Okay, the best I can do is 3. I said, son, no. It's 450. We battled it for 10 minutes. And I said, okay, I'll do 400. Good.